Good evening, my beautiful crime family. How you all doing? I hope you're doing well. It's been a while, a couple of days here again. If you want to know, yeah, I'm feeling a little better. Uh, but I am probably gonna go see somebody this week. So whatever. Anyway, main things I'm feeling a little better. Uh, we have quite a night tonight and a special guest that everybody knows and loves. But I got to say hi to my crime family first. So here we go. Moonflower Laza, my girl. Good to see you. I'm calling you tomorrow. Okay. Fallon, good to see you, my girl. Nikki Watson, good to see you. Joey, good to see you. Docterio, it's good to see you, girl. And Hope Floats, my girl, good to see you. Deborah Lynn, good to see you. Kathleen, good to see you. Thomas, brother, my brother, good to see you. Cryptic Conversions, good to see you. Liz Tupling, good to see you. True Killer Crime, my girl, good to see you. And lots more up there. Leah, good to see you. Debbie Gazzardo, good to see you. And lots of chatters and some people in the room. So we're going to get this show on the road and introduce Miss Bubbly Waters.
Hello.
Hey, Bubbly.
Yeah.
How you
Hello,
doing, Bubbly?
baby.
Okay, right? Now I got to adjust that. Now that it's working good, I got to adjust that. Okay, keep talking. Let's
Am I
say
screaming
something.
at you now? Am I screaming at you now?
There we
Screaming.
go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
good to see you. Good to see you. Boy, it's been a while. Been a spell since you've been up here.
Seems like it. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it
But
does.
then again, but then again, I see you every day pretty much. So,
Right, right. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just, in a roundabout way. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you guys in chat.
Right.
You guys, I'm on a Chromebook tonight, and I haven't been on a regular computer for so long that typing on here will I will mess it totally up. So if I don't comment, trust me, I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. It's just like today's been a weird day too. So it's been one of those days. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
not bad, but
uh,
not bad, just weird.
yeah. It sounds good though. I can hear you
Good,
well. So
good,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, better than the
A
house phone,
lot's
huh?
happened. A lot's happened since for a case that like is at a standstill kind of.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot to talk about in this case still, and if I was feeling better back a couple of days ago, I would have. I, I wanted to keep going, you know what I mean? Because there was stuff to talk about. And
yeah.
you brought up first, I want to, yeah, we're going to look at some video here. And I don't know if all of you know that. You probably do from watching Bubbly here. But yeah, there's a video out there that Gak, our old buddy there, our old buddy, he put out and released a lot of video. And
You put out.
we need to thank the community thanks him
Yes,
for
very
doing
much
that
so.
because
Very much so.
it's very very important that he puts that out there, and I'd like to see because he's the only one I know of, Sigma Chi or whatever. He's the only one I know of that has that footage until noon, all the way to noon. He's the only one. So
Yeah.
I would like to see it all the way to noon because there's certain things now that we're seeing in these videos that might carry over into the next hours. And
I wonder why he waited so long to put him
I
out
think
for everybody.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing between him and Ombre or something. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. I try to stay away from all of that stuff.
Yeah. Are
But
they? I don't know if are
kind
they. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because they're kind of at each other right now. I think. Right. Yeah.
of.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I think they are. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I try to stay away, but you
Me
know
too. I
me.
just don't dig that kind of
I
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. It gives me. I don't like that. It makes me feel yucky.
right, right.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I might get into something later tomorrow or something that might
get
be fun
into
to do.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let's look at one. I got one piece already loaded up,
Okay.
and let's take a quick look at this. Okay,
Yeah,
got whistles back there.
I
They're
got
coming,
sirens going off all the time around here. Yeah,
right? I
more
hear
than
them.
I've ever heard. More than. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that there, and you did some filters to it, and we're going to look at that too. It looks like a female getting out of this vehicle. Now that definitely is a SUV. Almost reminds me of it's one of those things again, like a Jeep or a Hummer or something like that. But it's lighter in color than the black SUV. But there's other people in other characters involved in this that have light colored ones, right? Bubbly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some Richies out there, Richie kids, and they got some stuff.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
this person, this female, is walking with a dog. Right? It looks like a little dog, and some people think it's Murphy. I think it's a little too small for Murphy,
Yeah,
but
that's
who
what
knows?
I do too.
And so, do you have pictures of somebody with Murphy, or with a small dog?
Who, me?
Yeah. Don't you have pictures?
It's on my video. It shows her holding him.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Um.
that's what we should do is go right to your video, that one, because that's a really good video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Because she. It looks like whenever she's back in town, or even when she travels, she's got that dog with her. Like it's with her a lot. So.
right, right, yeah. Let's do this.
Boy, it's much clearer on here than it is on my phone when I'm watching it. This is pretty cool.
Oh, I bet right.
Oh my
I
god,
bet it
yeah,
is.
it's like night and day. That's why I put the
Yeah.
filters. I can barely see them on my phone like that, so I put the filters. So I have no idea what they look like on here. I haven't seen them on here yet. So hopefully
Right.
they're
Okay.
not too
Well,
intrusive.
what was the name of that one?
It's just the last one that I did. So it's Emma.
M- MN or Doggy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, True Killer. Randy, Canadian, Leah, Lisa, Dara. I'm just gonna be like, I
YouTube's
pull
trying to
Tommy.
do this ad stuff on me again. Okay.
So okay, so the first part of
Okay.
it is a
So I
regular
got it
speed, and
up
then I have
here,
slow
and
speed
here
on
we
there.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here I come. Let's play hide and seek. Hiding off the ground. No one tends to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
Now this is where I think that it shows that this is a Pomeranian. I mean, I think you can actually see it.
The big eyeballs. The big eyeballs. It flashes the big eyeballs towards the screen.
Yeah, well, you can see that little fur. I've had a
Yep.
Pomeranian.
Yep.
I grew up with a Pomeranian. We had them for 17 years. Great, awesome dogs. And I really got to know that little face. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah, they're
see
good.
that face.
They're cute. So I want to address something here real quick. Is that after this,
Yeah,
I do slow.
you can.
Well, I do.
Mhm.
Well, I do slow motion after this, and so I took out the sound because it sounds so weird, and I just added my own bird stuff in there, so it might be a little odd, but anyway, it's better than that whoa,
Right.
whoa sound. Yeah.
Is this bird stuff real here?
No, the first part and the
Is this
last part.
bird stuff here real?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, there's a woman. You can hear a woman clear
Here?
her voice right at the very beginning of this video.
Yeah, that's real birds. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
They must have close to a window there, and they have birds. Right,
Yep.
right. Which is yeah.
Which I knew all along because I said there's birds there.
Oh, I just seen that. I just seen that face again.
Yep. Big ol' eyes.
Yeah, that's a Pomeranian. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. A little Ewok. Oh, that's for sure her.
Now, is the dog down on the ground right now?
I thought right when she went behind the truck, or right out behind that one bush, it looked like she might have like crouched down just to put him down on the ground, but I'm not positive. I mean, I don't even. It's just my speculation. That's her. But it sure does look like her and the dog.
Let's back it up a little bit. Yeah, I think she just carried her there. Okay, so where do you go now here next? You gonna do it again?
So it goes in slow motion. It just goes in slow motion, shows the vehicle slower.
Okay,
And this is where I add the bird sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're a little different than the other ones, but they're still bird sounds.
Right. So let's look at this vehicle. Now, everybody look at that vehicle. Now, remember, this is 6:30 in the morning, folks. I mean, this is supposedly after it all happened, and this person is walking, either towards those apartments right there or walking towards the house. And look at how big of that thing is. Look at this thing. That almost looks like a Suburban or something.
No, that looks like I just saw one. Who was that?
What is that?
They're really streamlined on top. They're almost like etched on top, almost like those metal, those aluminum suitcases, how they have the cutouts in those suitcases. That's what it just reminds me of the top of this one looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Nobody usually knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I want to look at that. It looks like it's got fancier wheels than what would come with it on stock. You know what I mean? It looks like some nice wheels.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway.
I like that whistle right there.
Right?
Yeah, so cute. What's interesting is that in this video, that the birds are singing, they're all happy and go lucky, and then all of a sudden something happens because they all quiet down, and it just feels like this somber thing came over the. Oh, just weird. Yeah, maybe a BMW hatchback. You could be right about that, Terry.
Huh.
Remember, there was one that said was stolen. It was the X6 or something. It wasn't a whatever. It wasn't the. I don't think. I don't know if those are hatchbacks or not, but
That looks bigger than a hatchback, but
yeah, they have those.
yeah, this
Yeah.
looks like a full-out SUV.
Well, the girl's bringing in some dough, so.
Yeah, why would she be going to the house? Is this part of cleanup? You know what I mean?
Well, you know what this means, don't you? This means that Dot might be right. you know, which is,
About
I don't
what?
know. I really didn't listen to much of that because I caught it. I just didn't listen to much of it. But
Yeah,
what she said,
we
there,
kind of caught her in a lie, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know one way or another, but it's just kind of weird, that this looks like her. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And then the dog, when she pulled the dog out, I'm like, what? Thanks, what was war? You rock. Awesome. Thank you. Love you.
right.
So that's not Emma. That's why I put a different face on it. That's a friend of hers carrying the dog at one of the lakes they went to.
Yeah, and maybe Emma's already there, and this is one of her friends bringing the dog or something.
Emma is there. You'll see her in the video. Her and her, I think, sister and her sister's friend. Who's that guy with his pants down? Which one?
Right.
Love you too, killer. I was telling Tommy earlier that I kept expecting to hear a scream or someone running back towards this area, in like seconds or a minute or so once they got to the house, and I never heard it. And I'm just like, oh, that's so weird.
Right. And another thing, someone asked up here, is that the vehicle that Enan Harsh saw? No, I don't think so. I think the one that he saw was the one at night, and that's a dark colored, like a dark blue or a black or something like that, like a black SUV. I think is what everybody goes by.
Yeah,
but anyway,
later, a couple days after this happened, there was a white SUV with out-of-state plates that was parked like 3 feet from the curb that the people they were talking about, and there was a black SUV that looked like it had been sideswiped on the side that was blocking some area. I mean, there were so many cars disabled. There was a truck out of gas disabled on King and Queen. There was one on King and Taylor. I mean, cars were everywhere.
Right.
Just dumped in people's yards, all sorts of stuff. I mean,
well, and then that one in Oregon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the neighbors here, they have the 2 dogs that used to bark all the time, and they just moved to Pocatello. They just bought a house in Pocatello.
I shut the birdies off.
I know. Okay, yeah, this is normal. This is the regular bird in normal speed now. So, yeah, whatever you feel like. I mean, I get it. people talking over it, can't hear me.
Yeah.
Meaning people, meaning me.
Now it looks like they have a. Does it look like they have a backpack on too?
Yes.
It looks like they
Yes.
have a backpack on.
That's why I put that one filter on there where it glows, kind of, because usually you can see extra stuff on that particular filter. Like it'll shine where there's
Right.
extra stuff. Yeah. And it definitely looks like a backpack to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a backpack. So she's got a backpack and she's carrying a dog. Backpack or what? Cleaning supplies?
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like there's something heavy. Does she look like she's carrying something in her other hand too? Or no? Because she kind of got off kilter there for a second, right? Off balance a little bit.
Yeah, it looks fun.
And I know she's got good balance because she's trained dancer and gymnast and cheerleader. So she's got really good balance no matter what she told that cop when she was doing her DUI test.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, girl, you do too have good balance. I'm like, oh, buddy.
So again, this is 6:30 something in the morning.
6:35.
We haven't
12,
had
I
the
believe.
6 to 7 before. So this, yeah. So this is this is new. And yeah, got to thank Gak for that one. I wish he would go from 7 to noon though. I really want that. I want to look at that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it really makes you
I want
wonder.
to see if this person goes back. Does the person go back to this? What time does this person go? That's the question. What time does this person go back? How long did she spend at wherever she went?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I would like to know that. So, Gak, if you're listening,
So this
man,
one's in Chicago, Illinois. Is where
post
this
that
picture.
stuff. And yeah, and everybody appreciates what you do, and just want you to know that, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Sometimes it takes me a while.
Yeah,
This one
that's a cute.
Yeah, isn't it cute?
All right. Well,
I don't know.
It looks like her to me.
all right.
This also looks like the same vehicle that left at what, 427 was it? 426?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't.
Well, look at the vehicle she's in though. What is that she's in?
And sounds like it too. Sounds just like
It's the same kind of vehicle, but I think it's different colors and less. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to say because of that camera. We just don't know what that camera is like.
Yeah, but what about the vehicle
I mean?
she was just sitting in? I just now noticed that when it was up here, is that maybe that's the same vehicle? Is there any way to look at? I mean, that's how. I'm gonna make that picture bigger.
Well, we could look at.
See if there's any emblems.
Yeah,
or something on there.
That might be hard to see. Let's take a look.
Yeah. But there is.
It'd be better to.
Okay.
Is this the slow-mo here?
Probably, yeah.
Let's see.
No. If you hear, yeah, that's a slow motion. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Let's see if we can discern what vehicle this is.
I should have zoomed in when it was driving down there. Didn't think about it.
It looks like the same kind of vehicle, but I always thought that other one was black or dark.
Oh, really? I thought
Maybe
it was light.
I'm wrong.
It was a light color.
Did you? I always thought it was dark or black.
Dylan had a light colored Jeep Wrangler. Oh, in fact, there's a Jeep Wrangler after the fact that was running around driving erratic too. About a couple days after that, they called it a white Jeep Wrangler. I don't think it was the Rab. I think it was. This was because during the noise complaint where Rosendahl walked up there, her new vehicle, her Jeep Wrangler was right there at the very end. That Dylan's was. And there's several pictures of her sitting in it with Quinn too.
Right. Oh man, I got to tell you about an email I got too. I'll have to tell you later about this.
Oh,
It was
goody,
about
goody,
something
goody.
that we were talking about earlier.
Ah, okay.
Oh, oh, you got it up there pretty close. Yeah, let's look at this again here. This is a lot closer,
Yeah.
folks.
You know what? Seriously, that car looks a lot like the other one. Seriously, when it's like
Look
that
at
right
this.
there.
Look right there, right there.
Yep. Yep. She's got a dog in one
Mm-hmm.
hand, a backpack on her back, and carrying something in her other hand. Oh wait, maybe that's a car behind her.
Okay, now you can see her hair. You see that? There's her
Yeah, she's
hair.
wearing a
It looks like,
scarf. Isn't she wearing a scarf?
yeah, that's her hair. Oh, that could be the scarf.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see here.
She lives in that scarf, man.
Yeah, it could be the scarf. Right. Interesting. Let's see what everybody's saying about it. What
So
do
right
y'all think about that, people? You think it could be? You think it could be? You think it could be Emma? You think it could be Emma in that vehicle?
Rick,
And what kind
Rick
of vehicle do
accidentally
you think it is?
Rick accidentally called me Bully instead of Bubbly. That's funny. No worries, dude.
Side 1122 going up the pole at corner. A big
In,
Jeep
in,
would definitely
where's that?
make sense. The new kind of the
Okay.
old version. Let me put these up there. Two poles. It's not the pole at that corner.
Could be a Burberry, yeah. But I think it was her. She has a paisley when she wears all the time. In fact, I tell people my favorite color
I
is
don't know what
paisley. So
I'll have to look that. I don't know what the Cadillac SRX looks like, but whatever kind of vehicle that is, it's a fancier one, man. That's a pretty nice vehicle.
oh yeah, that Cadillac SRX. That actually, yeah.
I
think we
could see it being a Cadillac.
Yeah, or a tricked out Escalade. You got that right too. Yeah.
Thomas has got a point here. Could this be a reason why law enforcement framed the hours of 3 to 6 a.m. for video canvassing?
Yeah, canvassing. Yeah,
to keep
probably.
Canvassing, yeah, to keep other hours hidden from the public interest. Yeah, we're going to be getting into this. I won't tonight, but I'm going to be getting into. I'm going to be. Well, I might later tonight. Okay, I might later tonight get into some things that kind of go with some of what they're saying back there about like people doing things to make us look at other things and to make us look away from what's really going on. And I'm gonna get into that either later tonight or I'm gonna make another video tomorrow on that.
Awesome. Yeah, anyway. They're big on that. Distraction. And it's just like that in the police reports too.
Yep.
They do it with little fender benders, like, 3-car backed into each other, but there's no report taken, It's all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion, with those things.
You're right. And not just that, we have there's even content creators out there that I feel are that could be throwing us a different way, and we got to be careful. Yeah, deflection, exactly, Thomas. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, man, that's just too much energy. Why would I want to do that? That just, this takes all there is. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work.
Well, right.
Pleasant,
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting paid for it. I have a cat. Oh, hey, that Wade. Just saying has a Cadillac SRX. Just gonna
Who does?
try to find a pic of it. That Just Saying. I have a Cadillac SRX. I'll try and find a pic of it. Okay. And yeah, you can send that to my email if you want. onceuponacrimetime@gmail.com. What the hell? Does anyone have okay, whatever, dude. Okay, be on keep an eye.
Speaking of that, the cat is in this video. You see the cat on both walking over from all the way from Blake Avenue, it looks like, across Linda Lane, across over top to the Linda Lane parking lot where we look out, and then you can see it. Like maybe that's why the bird stopped. Maybe I bet you that's why the bird stopped.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, let's keep watching here.
God, there's bikes everywhere in this town. Everywhere. Hey guys. It does look like a Cadillac SRX. I just looked it up.
Did you say something, Bubs?
I just said that someone was saying it looks like a Cadillac SRX. Yeah, Cadillac SRX, and it does look like one.
Right. Yeah, it looks like a fancy type. Yeah, someone else. Yeah, they're all saying that. So that's probably what it is. There's quite a few saying that. So yeah.
Interesting. I know I'm in the hunt now. So, what do you guys think? Does it look like Emma to you? Looks like Emma to me. I can't believe she would bring her dog to something like this, her precious doggie, and my little girl, it's hot. It's still hot. It was like 80 something degrees here. So it's like 10, almost 11 o'clock. It's awful. Well, I don't know. It looks like her to me. This also looks like the same vehicle that left at, what, 427 was it? Or 26? Uh-huh. And sounds like it too. Sounds just like it. So this just... Was that dog that was barking in the truck with her? Was that her dog? And did she have Murphy in there with her? Sure does look like her dog. Like when he gets out, she gets out of the car, you can see the dog's big old eyes.
Frank it in.
What? It didn't record it?
Frank it in.
No, don't hold my hand like that.
Oh, it didn't play it. Oh. You guys, there's really nothing much to see here as this goes on. There's some sounds and stuff, but it's pretty much, yeah. Tommy, you there?
Yeah, I was muted. Yeah, there's not much after that.
No, but in the beginning though, in the beginning of this, you hear the voice clearing, and then as the sun starts to come up, you hear the birds start to sing, and they're definitely pet birds because you can hear the little bells inside the cage, but also you can hear there's those beep beeps that we know so well, and the little like notification type things. There's some of those, and right around the time, right before she gets there.
Right. Okay, I'm looking at my Gmail here. Someone was supposed to have sent, but I don't see it. There's a whole bunch of other pictures in here, but I don't, unless
it cut off my video on that back part. So with that part that you hear in there that you can't see, it's her and her sister and another girl at a lake. They're playing in the clay. They're covered in red clay, and then it shows Emma. It flashes to Emma, and she's like, she's trying to do something like an Australian voice or something. I'm not sure, or "G'day" or something like that. That was but you didn't see it on here. It cut it off. So sorry about that. Oh, you guys probably thought it was me. Huh?
Well, what cut it off? What do you mean?
It doesn't show on there that.
What do you mean?
That girl holding the dog
cut off. Where's it at?
I don't know. I don't know why it's not on there. I mean, sometimes I watch them and kind of scroll through and make sure they're all good, but typically I just pop them right on.
Oh, you mean it didn't load up into the video or something?
Yeah,
Let me look and see.
You could hear it, but you couldn't see it.
Back. Oh. All right. Yeah, there isn't much after, but see, that was at 6:36, and it goes until 7, and that person did not come out before then. So wherever they went, they stayed until I don't know how long, and we won't know until how long.
What's interesting
is the other ones.
Tommy, have you tried? Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take both the 6 to 7s on one Linda Lane and then the other. I'm going to layer on top of each other, like just stack them. And so they play the same, but I'm only going to, on one of them, I'm going to play one side of the video to listen to, and then the next time I'm going to play the other side. But if you're listening to the one that we're used to seeing, with the SUVs there, but you're watching the other side, it is unbelievable how far you hear those cars. I mean, it is crazy how far you can hear them. Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Huh.
Deborah Ackland here says Dax video 1 to 2 a.m. at 1:40:27. You hear a shrilling male scream. Prior to hear, dude, let me out. Zana, Charlie, trucks, tailgate, trunk slams. Maybe wonder if Ethan hazed.
Yeah,
saw before but hadn't thought of.
Yeah, I think they got him down. They took him down from the grub truck.
Right. Okay. Well, let's discuss something. Okay. Let's. You have a theory, right? You have a theory of what you believe happened, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, mine changes with stuff that comes out, but it's always kind of stays.
Yeah.
I don't think BK's. Yeah, I don't think he's guilty. That stuff like that. But recently,
yeah. Well, let's hear your your theory, man. Let's do a bubbly theory.
So, I think that there's definitely something with the rugs that happened, but I don't think that the four really they were into it like that. I think that they got into this house, and this house is never been a sorority house. This house is a frat house, and you can see that by the guys that are there when they're not even home, and yeah, you can hear names being called. You think you hear Kaylee, but it's not. I think it's Haley. Or it's Bailey. They're yelling for Bailey, and then of course she walks out of the house and she's right there. So, and the way she talks to the cop acts like he knows her, and she acts like she knows him. So it's like, it kind of makes you wonder about the whole thing. But that house, I read a thing a while back about these sorority houses because no sororities are supposed to have houses off. Like they're not supposed to have houses like that. They're called satellite houses or annex houses, and they're off campus.
Yeah, this isn't even it's not supposed to be a frat house or a sorority.
No, it's definitely a frat. It's a frat house called a satellite or an annex house, and it's just where they do their because they can't do it on
they're drinking. That's where they do their drinking and drugs.
Yeah, this is all their nefarious stuff they get away with, right? And so once in this house went up. So the thing I read was of this a girl. She was talking about her sorority house back in the day, and she's like, and that's what she said. She says it's not a sorority house. She says it's always a frat house and always will be. She said it was not unusual to wake up in the morning and have guys sleeping on your couches, have pee on in your oven, and puke in your sink. She said we were always cleaning, and that made me think of the girls when they were cleaning the house, rushing around cleaning the house in that one video. Because these people were always there, and she said that even alumni would come into town, and it was an open door policy. Like they were welcome in that house no matter what, and you had nothing to say about it. You got to stay in that house for a lesser price, and you got to be in the middle of all the stuff that was happening. Basically, is what it was, and I think that's kind of what happened here. But they didn't realize exactly the extent of it. And I think they were all trying to get out, just like the girls prior to that. I mean, I wonder if that's how they just cruised out of there. They were just gone all of a sudden, And so maybe that's what was going on. But see, I think it was a little different because you had Ethan in there, and Ethan being in with whatever, maybe possibly frat or the other ones that were involved in this made it worse on everybody. Not that he did it, not to say it was him. It's just him being where he was at the time. You know what I mean? So I think that's where a lot of that came in. And, you got a girlfriend talking to your frat boyfriend, who's the frat that we're all looking at. Right. And, they're going to be looking at him. They're going to be looking at everybody and thinking they're going to be talking about him. Right. Telling what they've been doing.
It makes you wonder because I think you're supposed to keep it wasn't Ethan supposed to be a Sigma Chi?
Yeah, he's Sigma Chi. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're supposed to keep your grades up to be
Yeah.
a
So
part of this,
yeah.
and he didn't even make it his freshman year. And I heard that he had quit Sigma Chi. I don't know, from grades or because of the friction between Loach and Blueberry and Ethan. What do you think on that?
Well, I do. I think the friction is definitely there because I think that like they had to bring in a tutor into the house. Like Blueberry wasn't he was that's not where he's meant to be. Like they brought him in to that house. They had him bid and he pledged and brought him in as a tutor to help Ethan, is what I understood. And so
Right.
Ethan being
Yeah,
a
I
second year
understood that.
fresher, yeah, they had, so in order for the house to get to stay in good terms with the campus, with the university, is he had to go. Like I
Right.
think they put him out of the house, and then they, that's why. Remember, Xana's dad said that she's helping him with his studies and helping him study and stuff. That I think that
Right.
that Ethan maybe wasn't good at that kind of stuff. I think he might have been dyslexic myself, but because I used to have a boyfriend that was like that, and he seems a lot like him, type thing. But he just, I think, yeah, is that house, they couldn't be there, otherwise their whole house would get in trouble, and they would take them down. And those guys didn't want that. That's why. So that's why I think at the vigil, I think DJ, the guy that was talking in for Ethan that time, allegedly his best friend in the frat, he said that Ethan was planning on coming back going to come back to the house in June or July, which I don't remember which one it was, but one of the J's. And I don't believe that for a second. I think a lot of the stuff in that vigil was said to cover stuff up. Yeah, because those girls, two of them hadn't been in sororities for. In fact, Moye Madison is actually the one that did an article on that one. She brought it up in one of her articles. She did. That the girls weren't, that she hadn't seen them as normal because they were no longer with the sorority. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, your theory coming up, is there any like a pre-event thing that was building up or anything like that that's part of your theory, or do you want to just go from like what you think transpired that night from like the corner club on? What do you?
No, I think this had to be something this was premeditated. It had to be. I kind of think, I don't know. Are we going to get into that part yet? There's
What's that?
there's just so many things like now, just looking. Okay, so looking at the cops when they were there that night, how they were doing stuff and shining the light and letting people walk by, and not looking up at cars when they're passing by at 3:00 in the morning. What cop does that? Cops are alert. They're supposed to see all this stuff, right? Why aren't they looking up and
Right.
visualizing what's going by? Why did it and the whole thing was just, it was choreographed, period. Right?
Okay.
You could see, I mean,
All right.
everything. There was notifications. Everybody, you had this person over here notifying on Linda Lane down at Taylor, and that it was just all choreographed. The car honking as it drives by, everything. And so that's the part right there, the car honking when it drives by. That's the part that is now sticking with me as change. It's a little change up.
All right.
So I
Okay.
think that there was bigger people involved with the distribution, but I think that when they distributed it, they would probably go to like maybe Emma and those guys from the bigger guys to them. Then they would bring it to the house, and then all the boys, they were all there with backpacks on. They were having it all divvied out to them, and then they just disperse and do their thing. And I think that that's what that house was. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like a satellite. And I've read about this, and I've seen videos from other towns, other university towns, and yeah, they all have these little satellite houses that they use to go drink their alcohol at.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
right. So, okay, so it comes up, and it's coming up to the night, like the corner club night, and you see the grub truck. what is your theories on the grub truck? Because I know you have some theories on that grub truck.
Well, yeah, at first, no one's going to ever tell me that those kids weren't watching those girls and that things weren't going down the way they were. But now, as I'm looking at it a little further into it, and I'm putting together. So through this whole thing, I'll go like research an address, and then once I go there, I'll like take screenshots of things in there, and they'll be sitting in my album for a while, and I won't even look at them. And then I'll go to CapCut and I'll need to add something in a video, and I'll go there to find something, and I'll see all these pictures. I'm like, oh my God. And now they click. Now I realize something, right? So this is what's happening with me with the grub truck now. The grub truck is almost, I mean, I still think that they had issues with the 4 because of them leaving it and them not wanting to be outed for what their part in whatever was going to be, said, if they said anything at all, but I still believe that. But I'm almost seeing it now as a rescue. You guys are going to freak out on this one. You're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
It's almost like a,
we're going to go there.
Well, that's how, just talking it through and looking at it.
I want to say something before we go here.
You go for it.
Okay, so everybody, this is all speculations, and we're going to go over some things that I had mentioned a long time ago. I'm not sure if Bubbly did or has or not. I have gone there once before, but just very little. But we're going to go to a place that some people have gone a little bit, but we're going to kind of explain it, I think, a little more detailed. And this is a total different theory. And we don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah, because this isn't set in stone. This is just a thought that like a vision that comes by that you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like it dawns on you something about,
Right.
Yeah.
And it very, very well could be this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here, let me start out by, let me see. I was going to ask you a question. Okay. And that is, well, let me think about this. When you look at, okay, let's go to Brent Kopaka for just a second, right?
Oh yeah, bring it on.
Brent Kopaka. Yeah, let's go there for just a second. Here's a guy, and they were called over because he was threatening his supposed roommates. Correct? I mean, that's the story we're being fed.
Yeah.
But here we come to find out that he wasn't living there, and blah blah blah. We find out a whole bunch of different stuff, and then all they find is his phone, and it's wiped clean.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Bubbly, as a person? What does this tell you?
Tells me there's something nefarious going on, that they don't want you to know something because you don't just wipe someone's phone clean. You don't just leave. That basically it tells me he's a ghost. He's a disposable person to them, is how it makes me feel. And that is such an ugly feeling. And that he was set up because he was an easy target because of his PTSD, and because of he also had something else going on in his, he had problems that way, but I don't think he was a druggie. His drug of choice was alcohol. He was a drinker, and even he has a playlist on YouTube, and that playlist basically says the whole story. It tells him, it's pretty crazy.
Right now, with Brent Kopaka, have you or anybody else seen a body being taken out of the apartment building?
Oh God, no. Nope.
Has anybody seen that? Has anybody seen Brent Kopaka taken out of that apartment building? Has anybody seen Brent Kopaka being taken out of that apartment building?
You know what, Tommy?
Okay. No, hold on. I'm not done yet. Girl.
No,
now we're going to the 4. Now we're going to the 4. Has anybody seen any of the 4 being taken out of the house? has anybody seen any of the floor taken out of the house? So we have five bodies in Moscow that has never been seen taken out of the scene. What does that tell you, Bubbly? What does that tell you?
There's something secret going on. It's something that, it's like,
you know what it tells me? That the feds have their fingers all over it.
Yeah, because what you don't see is what the feds do. You don't see like photographs, like when someone's arrested, like say Grady, the sheriff, right? He does those videos, and if he pulls a picture up and there's no picture image on there, he says, we busted this guy, he was there, but there's no image on there, and that's because the feds already have him, and the feds don't want anybody to know, so they take the image away. And Grady hates that. It makes him mad. But that happened to some of my videos. I stressed that point, and they were taken down immediately. Taken down.
Right.
So well, I want to say something about.
We know that there's feds. We know there's feds watching everything we do.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So I want to say something real quick about the phone, about the phone being there. If this was if this was the case, they would have kept that in evidence for the family to come pick up. They wouldn't have left it on the freaking counter, stripped. That is not the way to do that. Right. I mean, they don't play by any rules.
What would be some of the reasons? Let's start going there now. I just wanted to set that up so people realize that there's five bodies with and no one's ever seen them. So what could be some of the reasons why you wouldn't see them taking a body out of the house or apartment? Let me hear your thoughts on
well, that part, because they might not be gone. They might have just walked out of there. They might have ran out of there. They might have been ushered across the street. Yeah.
Okay. Or they could be running right by Banfield. 4 of them, right?
Exactly. Ushered across the street with a little.
There could be 4. They could have ran from the house and jumped in the vehicle, right?
There could be 4 of them, right? By with a little honk as they passed by,
and they could have ran right by, right?
Yeah, right before.
And why would they be doing that, though? Why would they be doing that?
I don't know, but Rosendahl said, "Well, they got him," and then he says, "You can see him. You can see him. You'll be able to see him." So what's that all about?
So, yeah. So the police are helping these 4 get away, and that's what it looks like to us, right? It looks like Banfield. It looks like. Right.
Sounds like they were doing a sting, operation, and setting something up. Possibly, I don't know. I don't know, because I've never really dealt with these kind of things. I've never really thought about this kind of stuff, right? And so this is all new to me. Really, it truly is. I mean, except for things I've watched on TV, but I mean, I've never talked about this stuff before. But it's almost like, because they have the task force in there, right? In town. Why would they have them in town? And that many of them. 50 or 70, 50 and 70.
Yep, there's 50 FBI agents in town before it happens. Then
so how are
all this
people
stuff going on? And what about like the Linda Lane stuff? Where what is all of this? Is this all then they put stuff out to distract, right? Just like there's maybe some content creators out there that are put out there to distract of what's really going on, right? Something like that.
Yeah, and it's weird because I mean, someone might be able to say that about me, but as I'm going through this, I'm working this out in my own. I'm working this out in my own time. Things that pop up, things that I've never seen before, things like like the new ones that GAC put out, things like that. It's bringing things to light. It's making a scenario, making something that happened that none of us can actually can make normal in our heads. Like, how does this even work? Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense in this thing. So what does that mean? Right. Well, it's not meant to make sense because that's not what happened. They're making up stories as they go. And when someone starts figuring something out, they throw a wrench in there, right? They throw us a bone. That's how it feels.
Yep.
especially now.
And that's what it does feel that way. And so here's kind of what we're saying here. And Bubbly and I, of course, went over this theory yesterday. Okay, and we have to say something. And we're not saying that it's true or anything, but we're looking at this theory with open minds, and we have to do that sometimes.
It's just as plausible as the other theory.
It is just as plausible, if not more plausible.
Yeah,
you have
the
grub truck, right? You have Kaylee on the deal going like typing like crazy. She's texting. All of a sudden, then what was it? It was an Uber driver. Oh, wait, stop! No, it wasn't an Uber driver. It was a private driver.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Who picked up Kaylee and Maddie?
And then it was a personal friend. Right? I mean, right. even those they used like 2 or 3 different things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then that said like in the what was said when they got to the house is like, are they when they dropped him off? It was like, who's all home? And Kaylee says everyone. And then that was when boom, things start happening, right? So that's I don't know.
They all met at the house. They all meet at the house.
Yeah. 10 minutes, 12 minutes later.
They all meet at the house.
It's yeah. And so you got to think of, well, let me see. No, they had to be there for a while after that because it's 3:15. So they had to be there for a while. So there's that time gap. That's the part right there that like, what the hell happened? I mean,
well, between 2 and 3, and then there was those calls. We're trying to, but what are they throwing at us? They're throwing so much at us, like the car over in Oregon, and all this, and everything is. And look at the scrubbing that they did on the videos. I mean, even on the grub truck videos. Why would they be doing that? See, unless there is something to this theory. What else you got, girl? What do you got to go with this?
No, it just brings you to BK, about with him being in there. So who is he? Because he's not.
Is he part of it? Is he part of it? Was he?
Yeah, I mean,
did he know that? Did he? We're saying that BK is with the kids. I mean that they're all in.
Yeah, maybe
they're all they were informants.
So I don't know if you guys remember this, but from the very freaking beginning, my whole theory was that she was texting BK the whole freaking time. That she realized something down there, and it started because there was some nefarious stuff going on there.
Truck.
There was some stuff that was sketchy down there, and maybe she wasn't being.
What they say at the grub truck? There's that. Didn't they say?
Yeah.
There's that white truck again.
Maddie says, that white truck, we better get it bad.
Yep. And that's when Kaylee started texting like crazy.
And when she took that picture, I don't think she was taking it necessarily of the crowd behind her, but she was taking the reflection in the window of the vehicle that pulled up out front. That's what I think.
Say that one more time.
So when they were getting ready to leave and Kaylee looked like she was taking pictures of the food that Maddie had, I think it was a reverse screenshot, and I think she was taking a picture of. At first, I thought it was Ferris and all those people in the back behind, standing back there. But then I was like, wait a minute, she's taking a picture of the reflection in the window to show the vehicle that picked him up.
Yeah, interesting.
And Kaylee didn't want to go. There was a look on her face. Man, there was a look on her face. She was that time, and when she looked up when Peyton came up and hugged her, and that's the first time Kaylee kind of looked up. That particular face, and then the one when they were getting ready to go, like it was almost like Maddie took off and Kaylee didn't want to go. She had this look like no. It was sad. It was, but but we don't. Here's the thing: nobody knows. So it's like. And the way that they've changed everything up and they've lied about so many, literally lied to our faces. Right. And so what is there? If you don't have speculation in this, I mean, what do you have? I mean, you have to work it out in your head some way. Right. I mean, of course, if you're going to speculate, don't go after, don't, do bad things to people and things like that. And maybe people think that's what I'm doing when I'm bringing stuff up. But it's like it's like, what if they didn't want this crap brought up, then why did they do it the way they did it? Period. They keep egging this on. They keep bringing this and letting this happen. It's like, what?
Right. It really gets to me. I think the biggest thing that gets to me out of all this is no bodies.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
There's no way in hell that they could.
And no tears and no.
How did they do it? Yeah. And that's 5 bodies. Kopaka, Brent Koberger. Well, not Brent, but I mean, and the 4. not Koberger. But still, I mean, that's 5 bodies that no one's seen them being taken out.
And then
they're not
gives
there.
Them permission who gives them permission to cremate them and send them back home? What?
That's illegal. It's illegal as hell.
That is worse than illegal. That is so wrong. That's so many wrong. That's so wrong.
It's morally wrong and illegal.
God.
Yeah, it's just too many.
That right there boils my blood right
things
there,
about
man.
this case. What else would point to them still being alive? And I've heard rumors. I've heard about this stuff. Now I know there's 3 investigations going on, folks. I know that for a fact. There is 3 separate investigations going on. Now, how long have these been going on? I don't know that. But there's some pretty heavy investigations. I mean, especially one.
Well, you don't have that many in that task force. You don't have that many in a small town like that if there wasn't something major going on.
Yeah, there's something major being investigated there. And I'm talking major as an international, and more international than you think. And I can't go there. It's just bugging me, but I can't go there. Yeah, I can't do it. No. So it makes me wonder, since these, especially that one, was there informants? Did they find out? Did they get ratted out on? Like, let's say that they were involved and being informants, and all of a sudden shit went down and they all got found out, and and they had to come up with this.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, because I mean, you think about this too, is you've got first of all, why did they put Brent Payne on as the lead detective? I mean, there's so many people there. In fact, one of the guys, okay, so there's the recordings that Sean Cohen put out. Sleuthy Goosey has the one out with the James Curtis Leonard, but there's a link in that video where you can go listen to the whole thing. And he actually interviews the ex-chief or ex-captain. And he says he's talking about the people that he worked with. And he said that Danny Vargas was the best detective he's ever met. He says she's like a bird dog. She doesn't stop. Well, she's still there. Why wasn't she put on as lead detective? Anybody, right. But he wasn't even there for a full 3 years or like 4 years before they put him lead detective. Why? That makes no sense. But then why? So what is that? What that tells me is they really didn't need a lead detective, right? Whatever. What was going on? They needed a lead detective for if something didn't happen. I don't know. It's just I have dreams like this. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be going, "Oh my God, no!" I'm like, "No," my brain's just going constantly. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you do that to me, but I sure can do it, man.
Right. Then you got all this stuff, like the Linda Lane stuff, and that stuff is going to be handed in here. We're trying to line it up right now, and and one of the things that I've asked is it real? I want to know if it's fucking real. We
Yeah.
know that there's inlays. We know there's inlays, but we do believe that some of the stuff is real. Is it real or isn't it real? And that would rest a lot of questions right there. If we could ever, when we find that out.
Well, and who goes to that
But
extreme
what
to
else?
put something like that out there? That's extreme. If it
That's
wasn't real,
very extreme.
yeah.
Yes, and the weird thing is too now that the person that did find these reflections, they've disappeared.
I remember you
I
telling me
cannot
that.
get a hold of them.
Messed up.
Period. So, why was that brought into the whole realm of things? And she lives out there, and so do others that seem to be involved in this. Live out there also, and I'll be getting into more of that probably with. I doubt tonight, but I might be running a show again tomorrow. And put it this way, my next show is going to be about what I talked about earlier with you, Bubs. And
Okay.
but it's going to be so much. There's going to be so much more into it than just that. But
Yeah.
you have to take that into consideration. Is that there's people out there that are trying to distract what's really going on, and
Well, and there's
was
people
it
out
was
there
Fry
that
said
are
himself.
there's people out there that are capable of this kind of stuff too. They are out there. And you got to think about that Idaho area. I mean, right before this happened, there was a big rally down in Boise, and then another in Spokane. And some of the guys that were arrested, some lady called in and she's like, "Hey, I just saw this U-Haul van pull up, and there's a bunch of guys in the back, and it looks like they're carrying pipes and all sorts of flags and stuff like that." So that's how they caught those guys. They were locked up in the back of a U-Haul, and they were going to go down the middle of the rally and let them all out.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so one of the guys they actually arrested in Moscow, one of the guys that was in there. And it's like, and these are young guys from like different states, and all the states they talk about with that Enon talked about, all those states were mentioned. And it's like, wow.
Right. Yeah,
So
I
it's
remember
big
that.
there.
I remember that U-Haul, and there was like a what do you call them? Aryan or whatever.
Yeah, the white supremacy type stuff.
Wasn't Aryan?
I don't even know the difference. That's probably going to get me in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between the two of them, really. But yeah, I try to stay away from that stuff. It's scary.
Right, but that's what it was about. It was, and if that can be done, I mean, this stuff can be done, and
it happens.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's something to look at because.
Yeah, you guys look up the incident of Ruby Ridge. Look up that story. Go to Ghosts and Garnet's podcast. These are two ladies that grew up in Idaho. They still live there, and they have a podcast, and they have some great stuff. They got stuff on the Kirkers. They got stuff on that town. Baby X is one of them. I never remember the name of this town. But anyway, dad and his son were out four-wheeling, and they came across a body, and it was an infant. And this town, I mean, literally they talk about this town being this devil, like I don't know if devil worship, but just cult, like, sacrificial. And so,
right.
And people don't talk about it, but the Ruby Ridge incident was really freaking interesting. It's all interesting. They do a great job, but it's called Ghosts and Garnets. And if you don't have a podcast up, you can actually look them up and listen to them on YouTube as well. So yeah, they're really cool. They're really cool ladies too. They tell a good story. They giggle and shit in some of it, because you kind of have to in certain places, because if you don't, you just be crying all the time. My God. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to think.
Yeah. And that's been like that forever. You guys, it was like that when I was little. I mean, I moved out of there when I was like in third grade, but I remember stories from being there, and they were scary. I remember the stories my grandma would tell us. She'd be like, "Okay, we're going downtown. We're driving the big truck. So if you see people across the road holding hands, hold on, kids, because we're just going to put the pedal to the metal and hit as many of them as we can, because that's what they told us to do, what they told them to do, because they were people that were going to take you away. And I'll never forget that. I still remember that like it was like literally like 2 minutes ago. I mean, it was so strong in my head, and I was scared to death. And every time we had to go downtown, I'm like, no, I don't want to go downtown. No, leave me home with the horses. I'm good.
Yeah, and it's even more so nowadays.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's even more so nowadays.
Because they're getting away with this stuff, like, because it's because the cops like are getting in trouble for, I mean, I don't know what it'd be like to be a cop these days, you guys. I mean, how you can do this, you can't do that, you get in trouble for this, you can't, it's like, and the people out there with the different drugs that are going out there now that just make people nutso in the head. I mean, how do they even decipher what?
But then you have law enforcement that could be involved in some of this trafficking, and that might be where some of these investigations are. You know what I'm saying?
Voss Moon.
That would make it definitely harder to bust.
Yeah, it's. So there's some comments. There's some big long comments in here, Tommy. So I don't know. They're kind of scrolling by.
I'm trying to get the FBI has falsely accused some of the most powerful men in the world. To do so in a small community would be quite easy for them. Yep, no doubt. They have shown just how their reach really is. Okay, then.
Yeah,
Bubbly,
it's like,
what's the connection between dumpster guy that was picked up? Is he the one who walked across Linda Lane toward 11? Good question. Toward 11:22, or a different guy? I saw you put something out recently.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same guy. I think it's two different guys. One of them stands up taller. The other one is like shorter and not as girthy. I mean, not that the guy was a big guy, but the other guy was, I think, smaller, had on a bigger sweatshirt, and he had he was. I really feel like the guy picked up at the later on. I really feel like that is a black guy. I really do. And I don't know why. It just feels like his body, the way he stands, the way he does like something with his cigarette, it just reminds me of a black dude. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it just does. And so the other guy didn't have that feel to him at all. The other guy actually, when he was coming down the road, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he actually fell at the beginning of that road, and that before he got to the dumpster, and he was limping pretty good. So
really,
unless it was just them messing with the video, that could be too. Who knows? But two totally different. The guy, in my humble opinion. But yeah,
right.
The other guy felt confident to me. The one at 5:00 felt more confident, in his mannerism, is what it felt like to me. Does that make sense to anybody? I mean, I don't.
Which one? Which one?
The one at 5 that was picked up, that was standing there smoking.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, right.
And plus, I think he had on a different hat. That guy at that time looked like he had on a derby hat. Like Cy wears, like Cy Ray wears.
The first guy, in my opinion, is Jack D. That's who it looks like to me.
Yeah,
but
I don't. Yeah, I thought that in the very beginning, but I don't. Yeah,
and the second guy who gets picked up there, he what does he say when he's getting in the car? That's it, or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's done. And
that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like could mean anything. I mean, first of all, what does that's it mean? If they were there to clean up or get rid of stuff or get stuff, maybe collect things or whatever, how did they do it in such a timely fashion? That's 5:00. They're not going to clean up a crime scene in that amount of time, period. I don't care how many people are there. Not going to happen. Because you got to dispose of that. You got to be quiet. I mean, not that I've ever cleaned a crime scene, because I have no clue about that, but I can't be.
Koberger did it in 8 minutes.
Yeah. His fingers have suction cups. No, his fingers like those paper towels. You know, when the paper towels that suck. Remember they crack the egg open and you put the paper towel and it would suck it up in that paper towel. His fingers, he just sticks
Right.
his fingers right down there and he just sucks it all up.
Right.
Oh Lord, man. Yeah,
So it's Ellie. Yeah, I thought that at first too, and I still wonder, but
yeah.
to me it
I
kind of
just think
looked like too small of a dog. But
well, hey, Elle, you can actually hear a dog barking very quietly. So maybe Murphy was still in the vehicle. He might have been, because I think both those dogs were in the vehicle when they took off the first time at 420 something or whatever.
right,
So that could very
right.
well be possible. I love Tina.
Yeah, because I know that was definitely Murphy that left with him at 423.
Yeah.
I'm pretty dang sure. I'm 99% sure anyway. Do you still think that was a knife that they were putting in the dumpster?
Possibly it was. I think something was being transferred somewhere. Is how I feel. I mean, I just feel like there's why would first because here. So you think of it this scenario. This is at 3:15 that he finally got to the dumpster and he walks around and he gets to that point where he's on his phone. That's 3:15. The same time your X-ray vision goes straight through those trees right down to like Rosendahl, and he's getting a notification on his phone, and that's when he's like, they got him, they got it, whatever, like it's done or whatever he says. It's hard to tell, and
Right.
and so that's all happening in this time. So we're seeing it. If you put those all together and like layer them one after the other on this video and you watch it all in real time, you'll see how it all plays out. And so whatever it was he was doing in there, you got to remember when they had to go back and get the garbage, remember, because it was like the next day or like 2 or 3 days later, they went to another neighborhood, and it's in the police reports. Some guy's mad about the freaking garbage truck waking him up that morning because he's not supposed to be there that morning. Well, this was in a totally different place where they went and picked the garbage up there. So it's like, you think about those things. I mean, I'm telling you, those police reports are, whether there's no report, all that stuff, that's even important and worth even, because it tells you something. They don't want you to know. They don't have this report. I almost feel like
Right.
the reports that they do take are the ones that don't matter.
Right. Here's what I think they do. They go no report, but they do a report when they get back to the fucking the station.
Well, that's what Fry. Yeah, that's what Fry said in the beginning on his campaign. He was like, well, I'm going to make sure I'm going to work on having the guys fill out their better reports. I'm like, well, he must not have forced that.
They fill them out when they get back to the station. Probably they just don't.
There was a girl up in my comments who her dad or someone was a sheriff or something, and anyway, she was kind of telling me certain ways how that went, and but she did say it was extensive. This one was definitely more extensive than normal. So.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Toby says that's it for the passcode to take the ride. Before they come into the car, they need to give a password. That's probably it. That's it. That's it.
That makes sense because you've got those. If it's a what do they call those operations? I mean, a special ops or special. I don't know what they. Extreme undercover. I don't know what it is, but anyway, you'd have to have something like that because I mean, even the grub truck had the onion stuff and I've seen them the fallen. I mean, there's certain things in there that just didn't make any sense, Yeah. So, and I do believe people were harmed. Especially there's that one notification that comes in on there that I did find an old video. You can hear it really good on the video I've got too. It's really good. But the guy, there's that beep and you hear the guy say, help me. And that beep comes in 3 different times. And the third time the guy's losing steam, you can tell. But the first one, as soon as you heard it, a car pulls in like he's looking for someone. And that's what I think that car was. They say it was BK. I don't think that was it. I think it was a cop looking for someone who'd been hurt. Another, like whoever it was, that's who I think. That's what I think.
Right. Ellie, did you come out with that second part of that one last video you put out? I didn't see the second one come out yet. I'll have to look at that. She had a pretty good video.
I haven't seen the last one. I just thought it was up to date, but I need to go watch it.
Yeah, that was a good video.
She got some good stuff.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one, Ellie. And I believe Murphy was at Linda Lane, and I mean I seen it there, so I know it was at Linda Lane. And I think it took off in that back truck. That's what
Yeah, I think what happened was when the girls come up. So I think it's the girls down at the grub truck, the mouthy ones, the two that come up, and they get out of the car at Linda Lane, and you can hear them say clear as day. You can hear him say, Jack said to put Murphy in the laundry room. And then there's some other stuff that they say that I didn't write down or whatever, but that's clear as day. So if you think about it, if someone's in there, the laundry room is on the first floor. It's in the first floor bathroom. That's where the laundry room is. So if, anybody came in and out, I mean, it would be easy for him to get out. I mean, shit, my cat could probably get out of a place like that if she really wanted to bad enough. She gets out of her catio outside. I see her little eyes peeking out in the dead of night. I'm like, where did you go, woman? You see her little eyes peeking out in the bushes. So,
right.
Yeah. And I think Murphy escaped. I really do. I think he escaped. And I don't think when he got there, I don't think he was there when the cops got there. I don't, because the police reports tell the story.
Right.
Someone on White Avenue, which is a very nefarious address with a lot of people that are connected to that address. And they're wanting to know about the dog that was brought to the shelter. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Well,
okay. We were talking yesterday and about this theory of let's say that they're still here. And we've heard rumors. Have you heard the rumor that there's two that lived or something? I've heard that.
Well, yeah, but it was quite a while ago, and it was, Jay doing his thing, and he's like, yeah, Kaylee and Ethan are alive and well in Texas, and I remember him saying that and just thinking, I do believe there's a few things that he has brought up that I do believe that I can, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff lately that's just really kind of, I don't know. I don't want to go there because I don't want to put anybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we all have our theories and our thoughts in our heads, and how can you us be wrong when we don't know any different,
Right. And this is a theory that does make, here's the crazy thing, people, is that we could take every single one of us and you explain your theory. Let's say that what a person never heard of this case, and you explain the theory to them, they would say, "Oh, that makes sense." Then the next person tell them their theory, and he would say that makes sense.
Yeah,
and this could go on all night long
because it's so whacked. I mean, you're like, because like I was talking to Tommy, and I was saying that my mom's like an astrologer, and then I've got, which I don't talk to anymore, but. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I've got friends with tarot that do tarot, and I listen to some astrology. None of them, they cannot. This thing is so whacked. Like it always comes up the same type thing, but they can't figure out who. They can't put the face or whatever the cards are to the face. It's not narrowed down. But they'll like do a reading, like when something else pops up, read it in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and they nailed it. They nailed it. But this one. Hour long, 2 hours, and it's just always, and it's pretty much always the same readings. Right. It's wild.
Right.
So there's something that's
and Thomas, and check that out, Thomas, and what students are overseas. Did they plan? Okay, think about that too. Kaylee had a trip to Europe coming up, right?
Yeah, because
think about this stuff, people. And Jack Decor is gone, right? Isn't he gone too?
Well, and Adam Lauda, he, like, before anybody even knew this, I found his YouTube channel, and he only had 2 videos on there, and like maybe they had like 1 or 2 views on there. And I, of course, I probably viewed about them 10 times and listened and deciphered them or whatever. But there was 2 of them. One was the where he was talking about, he was standing behind a desk in like a suit. And he was talking about putting his spew toward taking his newest venture or whatever to Spain to Uber Eats. Uber Eats is what it was called. So you got Uber there and you've got Eats, right. Whatever. I mean, to me, that's like Uber and the Grub Truck. That's what it felt like to me. But he was just doing a spew on it. And then the other one was about, he must have taken a body language class in college, and he was he was talking. He picked the guy that the plane went down and killed all those people, and then the airlines were just trying to blow it off and not saying it was their fault or nothing. Anyway, so yeah, so that was his body language thing on, and I'm telling you what, if that kid was in my class, I would have flunked him right now. Like he was so idiotic. I actually still have the transcript from that because I mean I knew some things, but I didn't know how to do screen recording, none of that stuff at that time. I mean, talk about a learning curve, man.
Right. Yeah.
I'm still
yeah.
good.
You pump them out pretty quickly. I like that you're putting out longer ones now too.
Well, correct? Yeah, and I think yeah. I mean, I usually did put longer ones out before, but then I kind of went. I'm not sure why I did. I'm not sure why I didn't stop doing that. But yeah, I prefer the longer ones myself. But then you've got the people like, oh, why don't you put some shorter ones? And then there's what? Well, we like your longer ones. And I'm like, it's like it's trying to please everybody. It's just not. Right. I mean, so I'll just make a long one and say, just listen to it halfway through, and let's do the other one the next day.
Right.
But yeah,
right. Yeah, it's crazy. You can't please them all. Yeah, what else can we think of on this theory that would make sense? So we did the grub chuck and what could have been at the grub chuck, and it could be, maybe all these kids are helping them. Maybe there was a whole bunch involved. Maybe they knew what was going down.
Well, and
at least right some
there,
of them.
Yeah. So exactly. So what if they weren't trying to set them up, but it made them look like it, so that the four, right, didn't catch on to what was really going on, because it's an undercover, right? I don't know how those things work, but they got to keep some of it secret, right, to get what they're trying to get, which I think is wrong anyway. You do not use students, you do not use these kids, none of that. That is
maybe that's why Kaylee and Maddie kept calling Jack.
Yeah, I don't think they're calling Jack.
We're heading out of here. We're heading out of here. They're getting us out of here.
Yeah, could be anything. I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that you can put things to fit. I can take anything. And make a theory that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, she might. I mean, for all we know, she could have been ordering DoorDash for Xana for later. We never. You don't know. None of us know. That's the whole thing. Is I mean, that how they got to that point with the DoorDash. I mean, that's a whole nother issue, and I don't even want to go there. That gives me a headache.
Right. I got to say hi to this Jen Herbeck. Herbeck, are you from Minnesota? Jen, are you from Minnesota? Do you know Kent Herbeck? Don't see that name very often. Hrbek.
Hey, tell it to Elle. I have to say something real quick. I was just reading the police reports. I was just making a video on it before I came on, and the tunnel. So one of them was a car had been parked there for a few hours at the steam plant. So that steam plant is what goes underneath the college, or the university, and it pumps that steam in there to heat it through there. Well, the main tunnel, that video, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but there's a video that shows the kids walking through it. And I swear to God, it sounds like Jake and it sounds like DJ talking underneath that tunnel, right? But anyway, they're walking up, and that the entrance to that in the university is the main library. That's where it comes out under down the steps. And so in this police report, it was 2 or 3 days after that happened, and there was a car parked there for several hours. It wasn't supposed to be. There was private parking, and then the next insert was there's a manhole cover off on Jackson Avenue. Okay, well, that's what those things are underneath there. It's a pipe. I mean, that's why those manhole covers are there, right? Part of the reason. I mean, they're there for other things too, but. Yeah, isn't that nuts? Like, it's you guys. It's all. It's like if you just. Well, I've got one coming out, and I had to cut it short because I got all wrapped up in my land glide trying to find certain addresses, and they weren't popping up. But I did find some weird stuff though that's going to be coming up. Man, I love land glide. It's so much fun. Right. Yeah, it really is. I get up and I can be lost for days.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah. I'm glad. I don't got that, but um, what
Oh,
was I going to say
Beltran,
about
good
something
point.
about you know what, that makes sense too, and just going further into this, just to show that that actually this could fit everything. You got four people running. You have four people that were supposedly um, unalived and allegedly, um, and Jack Showalter acting as a guard on the way back from the grub truck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that
And you
guy
got
could have
that.
got a
Did
very
something
bad
happen at
life.
Corner Club? Did something happen at the Corner Club that made them like, you know, freak out a little bit?
Well, remember
You
that.
know what I
Remember the
mean?
Moscow. Remember the phone call that came in, the 911 call, and that was from the Moose Lodge, which is basically in the same parking lot as the Corner Club. And that particular night, they had
Hmm.
a dart tournament, a veteran dart tournament. So there was a bunch of people there, and so that's where the call was allegedly coming out of, and it was a third party call. So it really kind of doesn't make sense to me, but it was a third party calling in, telling that the boyfriend called the girlfriend saying that there's someone drunk, I don't know, at the Moose Lodge or whatever. Well, you know
Right. Yeah.
who came to that call? Lana has the video, the body cam of that, and
I think you
I can't
told me
say for
this
sure, but I'm
before. Yeah.
almost positive Justin Olson was the one, because Justin Olson was a ex Lata deputy sheriff, and you guys know who that guy is, right?
Right.
He's the guy that drove the
Yeah.
car that had Jordan Baker in the back that called 911 on Kopaka. I mean, it's like, what?
Right.
God,
Yeah.
don't get me
See, it's
started
like
with Kopaka. It
mixed
drives
and
me nuts.
entangled. It's so
Ugh.
entangled, and
And they're
and
all there. They're all intertwined. Yeah, they're all there. And they're all in my photo albums. And it's
yeah.
scary.
And what were they? Were they all investigating? And it could be this, that they were all investigating, and yes, all four
Yeah.
of them got unalive.
Yeah. I mean, what if those
And
guys that did
you
the
know,
Kopaka thing,
I
what if
mean,
they were actually
mhm,
undercovers too? I mean, who knows? I mean, why would they let
right,
Jordan get
right,
on there and talk on his TikTok about all this stuff about Kopaka if they were trying to keep it secret? I mean, that
right.
none of it. It's just weird. But I mean, they
Rick
use
Allen's
people to
got a
draw
good
other people
good
like
point here
nefarious.
too.
What?
Rick Allen's got Rick Allen's got a good point, a good thing that would fit
Oh, that's a
too.
yeah,
did
yeah.
Jack?
No
Yeah, did
lie.
Jack
Yeah,
Showalter take them all to the family cabin 5 hours away?
exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe he was just
exactly.
racing to
Yeah, that's
go get the big bus to take him. Corner Club. We just found out today by a couple people that Corner Club have its own little shuttle bus, so
right,
maybe they took the Corner Club bus.
right,
Just
right.
joking.
Paco, right? Wacko case,
Yeah,
and it is a wacko case. It's totally wacko, man.
it is whack. It's
We can
whack.
make
Yeah.
anything fit this case. We can make anything fit this case, and until we
I'll be
really
the first
find
to
out,
apologize to
that's all we can
everybody in
do.
this case if this comes out that it's just not anything like this. But I'm telling you, these guys are for. I mean, it's like I feel like they're just forcing us to you know think of these things because they're putting them out there. They're making it real in our heads, really. I mean, or maybe maybe all of us
Right.
just here are just a
Yep.
little bit crazy. Maybe that's it. I don't think so, but you know what I mean. I'm just being silly, but
Right.
yeah. But I don't know. Green kind of freaks me out a little bit. I mean, I just, the timing he can't come in and all that kind of stuff is just kind of weird to me. But, but that's, I try not to get too much into him because he does have pull. He does have a way to, if someone wanted to come at you, you know, that would
Who's
be
that?
definitely
Who are you talking about?
Green. Like anybody
Who?
like that high,
Oh,
like
Green.
it's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. The people. So you think about this too. The people that we're calling out that we're having these issues with, which I have, just the way that their attitudes and stuff, I pick up. Oh, I'm so sensitive about things like that. Big time sensitive. And so when I see that and I feel that in these grub trucks and all those things like that, I see it with all my body. I mean, I feel it. And so so whatever they're doing, those kids down there, they were rich kids, right? They're not coming at it after anybody. They're not suing anybody for slander or anything like that. And where they very well probably could, right? Couldn't they?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Probably,
So it's
yeah.
like, so I don't know. There's just something that's, I don't know. I don't
Probably.
know.
Terry says, I remember hearing somewhere that Jake, MM's boyfriend, told Jack S to watch after the two girls.
Yeah, I remember
It
hearing that
seems to
too.
me I remember something like that. Do you remember hearing
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well,
Angela.
yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit nervous myself. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't.
Right.
Uh, uh,
Yeah. It's just a
yeah.
crazy case, and but yeah, we
Yeah.
thought we'd go over that, with
Yeah.
everybody and see what they think about it. I
And
was
it's
a
like,
little leery about.
yeah. Well, I was and I wasn't, because I put it out there before. Like, I've thought in my head, like, are they really gone? Because it's just, there's so many things that don't point to that, but there's so many things that do. But there's so many more things that don't point to it than do point to it. You know what I mean? And
Right. It's just
yeah,
weird.
and just the fact that they're keeping this going on for so long. So, and that's a whole nother thing. If they haven't caught the bad guys, and then they're going to keep it going on until they do, to keep people protected, which they should be protected, because they put them in that position in the first place, is what I feel.
Right.
Unless that was their job, unless that was something they wanted to do.
Exactly. Yeah, they should not. And that's one thing that I think both Bubbly and I want to express here is this has gotten out of hand with these informants. The college kids, they get busted, and then the cops turning them into informants. It's putting these kids' lives at stake, and it's going on across the whole United States. That shit needs to stop like fucking yesterday.
Oh, yes,
and
absolutely.
There should actually be laws against that. There should be fucking laws against that. And, the only way to get that done is to, of course, email your Congress people or state people and get laws passed about that, because that's fucking horrible. That's fucking horrible, man.
Dude, I was reading a case
and
that
kids
was
are dying.
Oh, there was this one case that was unbelievable. This young girl, beautiful
North
girl.
Dakota. Oh,
what's that?
Okay.
What's that?
I was wondering if it was North Dakota, because I was going to do a story on one in North Dakota, but go ahead.
Was it the young girl?
It's not the same. I thought it was.
Okay, well, they basically, she just had literally nothing happen. Like, she was even partying. She wasn't even for sale or anything like that, distribution. And they got her into this one time. All you have to do, and it was this major. Like, I can't imagine. When I read it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. It was a massive amount of money. The guys had a stolen car ring, plus there was drugs involved and all that kind of stuff. And they had her go out. So something happened where something about the phone, or that was the didn't get reception or something, because when she got to where she was supposed to meet them, they didn't want to meet there because they thought something was up. So they had to go meet somewhere else. Well, that her phone or whatever they did, the wire, something happened where it got all messed up, and they literally took her out right then and there. She was just done. And it was a major thing. Girl was like a young, innocent girl. And they put her in a position like that. Even seasoned people with what they did with this position, with what they explained that this one was like, is wrong. But man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, awful. Right, El. Yeah. I don't know. It's just unreal.
They need to stop that. And they need to stop that. They do. Now.
And parents need to talk to their kids, come to me, explain this stuff to them. Don't, you're going to be, once an informant, always an informant. I don't, Embry says that two things in your cards done and you're out of there. I don't believe that. I think once you're in, because I've read some stuff, massive stuff on it. And once you are,
once you're a narc, you're always a narc.
Yeah, because and not only that, but even if they let you out, you're never safe, because you narc people and they got your number.
Yeah, you'll never.
Yeah, you're never safe.
That's the way it was here. When I was in, doing things and whatever, there was one guy that when I got busted in '79, and he helped turn me in. And he moved away after that, and but his name was garbage. His name was fucking garbage. Through this whole town, and always will be. even to this day.
Yeah, and
Even
that's
to this
exactly,
fucking
yeah.
day.
Yep.
Right. And
So
he was
that's,
scared.
wow.
He was
Yeah.
fucking scared. He moved. And I haven't seen him in since then. Been gone. But yeah, his name was garbage, you know.
Well, and then here, the
Yeah.
thing, if they don't get taken out by the people that they've narked on, then they get paranoid and they start doing stuff that takes their own lives because of having to watch, feeling like they do constantly. I mean, that's a real thing, being paranoid to death. You know what I mean? Can
Right.
get you in,
Right.
yeah. I don't know. The whole,
I have, yeah. And that's another thing. I've not seen the death certificates for any one of the victims, or pictures of a funeral. They all were cremated. Even Ethan and Maddie's ashes are next to Kaylee and not with Maddie's father.
Ethan's are, I
So
never heard that.
what is?
But Ethan was, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, Ethan was supposed to have been
crazy.
buried, but now they're saying that he was
At
cremated.
first,
So that, yeah.
right. So what is it? What is it? It's one or the other. I mean,
Okay, so here's one thing. How come Fry hasn't come out and addressed the part where the kids were running across the street and those cops were there and they let it happen? How come that hasn't been addressed? That's a simple one right there. That's a simple one. We all talk about it. Yeah. And if they don't hear us talking about that, then I don't know where their heads are, but they're in a beach somewhere. And I don't think there's a beach that close to Idaho out there they can be sticking their heads in. So something's up with that. I mean, that one would be easy to address. Tell us what that was all about. Oh, they didn't see it. Well, we're not buying that, buddy. I'm not buying that.
Right.
But maybe it was that. Maybe that it was that dangerous of a operation, and maybe they did get him out safe. And God, oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome, you guys? If this was just a freaking,
awesome? Yes.
What's that show that Drew Carey played in? There was like, he was in a movie his whole life. God, I always bring it up, and now I can't even think of the name. Shit, it's trying to tip of my tongue. Somebody will know it. But the Truman Show. So he was born and he was always in a show. He didn't know it until later on in life, and it was like, wow. So it's like being, I don't know. That's how I feel like right now is that we're on this show. Like maybe we're the ones teaching AI how to learn about things. You got the people that are on this side, the people that are on this side. What are the people? It's weird like that because AI is a real thing, you guys, and it's a real scary thing in my opinion. Oh,
yeah, AI, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's a whole nother freaking chat. This is show like about
it's like
15 hours long.
Right. They're going to regret making them things because someone's going to make it evil. Someone's going to make them.
Well, they learn from us. Yeah, they learn from us, and you don't think they're going to start with their own religions, and it's going to be just like us, but they're going to be AI. Exactly, and they're yeah. Oh my gosh! Imagine. Oh my God! I can't even think that far. I mean, I'm still scared of the mole people, the slee stacks, from Land of the Lost. So I don't want to go to the AI. Oh, those people freaked me out.
Yeah, they kind of do me too.
Yeah.
The world's evil enough. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Well, it's been great having you on, Bubbly. It's always awesome to have you on.
It's been a great one. Yeah.
And
feels good on this one, really casual kind of a little bit, but not,
Yeah, that's because we know each other well. That's why.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's because I don't have to freaking worry about my phone. I'm actually talking. I don't have to worry about where I'm sitting and all this other stuff. So this worked out pretty good with this right here. It's just sitting on top of my seat and I'm just, watching as it goes along. I'm not really commenting on because I'll have to use my phone. I mean, I'll have to look away and I'll be distracted and all that good stuff. I always thought I was a multitasker, but not when it comes to this crap. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. The only thing is your camera doesn't come in. You must have your camera off, or
well, that's because I don't. Why? I mean, there's no way I am going to be out and about there with that kind of stuff right now. No way.
Oh, right. Yeah. You don't have to go there. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I think about people. Like I mean, I've watched other channels and things like that. Yeah, I feel better. Thanks, Jackie. And ones that haven't gone on with their pictures, and then ones that have that regret it. And yeah, it just,
Yeah.
I never had an issue with anything like that. I mean, I'm not afraid to show my, whatever. But with this case, it's a little bit
It's crazy.
freaky. It's a little bit
Crazy.
freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, and we don't know, and that's why my next show is going to be kind of a scary show for me to do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, is that there's people right now putting words literally in my mouth, saying things that I did not say, and that's not good. That's not good. In fact, that's cool. That's like putting, like, literally they're like putting me on a chopping block, and that's not cool. And so, I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure you guys have all seen it, and I don't want anybody to go into it in chat. Let's just not talk about it. I just want to put out there that there's so many things that was said in that I mean, I said, what? I'm like, where are you getting this from? But anyway, it is what it is.
Right.
And anyway, I appreciate that particular person for putting the stuff out that they did. Finally, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate the community post, that's for sure, but whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But actually it's kind of, I've gotten more subs from that, actually, to tell you the truth. So,
right.
So thank you way,
Right. Yeah, did you a favor.
People that know me know that I don't say that that's not true. They know me well enough to know that's not true. Yeah. So, right. And the people that don't, that just going to believe in that thing and just stray off on that just because someone says that, well then, go your own way. Have a good day, and I wish you the best. Right. Don't make my day. Yeah. Don't ruin my day, because you're not going to. So, right. Cool. Exactly. Right on. Love you guys. You guys rock. Yep. You guys are all so great.
Take care, girl.
Yeah.
Love you much.
Yeah, love the haters. They may only be motivators. Yeah.
Yes, right. Love it, Ellie.
Right. Thanks, yeah, awesome. All right, you guys. It was really nice.
All right, girls. Take care. Love you much.
I love you too. You guys take care, and I will.
Yep. Take care.
I'm out soon. Yep. Okay.
All right, girlie. All right, there you have it. Yeah, our lovely bubbly waters. Didn't see something? We all love bubbly. So yeah, and we do want to thank GAC for putting those videos out. I downloaded every single one of them. So, and those are the originals. There is nothing. They're pure and original. So we really appreciate that. And as a community, and at least I know I do. And even though we've had our times and whatever, we come from the same era, I do believe. Nobody sings Black Sabbath without being from my era. Anyway, yeah. My next show is going to be quite interesting too. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. We'll see how that one turns out. Anyway, I love you guys all, and my subs are my heart, and my mods are my soul. And until next time, rock and roll. And this band is from Minneapolis.
lady who shines in the light, a glow of her eyes, my soul unites. The rain stops into the night. I walk in shadows of the moonlight. When the time is right and the stars shine bright, I'll kiss my lady through the night. Oh, my lady, do you hear all those whispers in your ear? I walk in shadows of the moonlight. Starstruck and stuck in time, it always seems to seem alright. My thoughts inside, I miss it day and night. There's only one reason to stay up all night. Shadows of the moonlight. I'm slipping away, it's almost time. Take my hand, my lady, please don't cry. Hold me forever until I die. Don't be lonely, I'm by your side. I walk in the shadows of the moonlight.
If you pass
if I want to leave, I know just what to do. And if you ask if I want to leave, just so I can get rid of